The $60 million fine remains, but the money will stay in Pennsylvania. Gary Sinderson will have more from Penn State straight ahead.
A memorial for a man found dead in a public park in jeopardy of being taken down. What the mother of that man is now saying.
A candlelight vigil happening now for a woman police say was shot and killed by 2 teenage boys. We will take you there.
6 News. Coverage you can count on. In high definition. Starts now.
Penn State getting back 112 football wins that were taken away 2 years ago during the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse scandal. A deal with the NCAA restores former head coach Joe Paterno's status as the winningest coach in college football. But that's not all. The settlement also keeps the $60 million in penalties intact.
It's all a result of an agreement announced today that settled a lawsuit against the NCAA. And for Penn State, it's a sense of victory, although the biggest issue here is the millions of dollars that will stay in Pennsylvania for child abuse prevention programs. The one reporter who's done more work on this story than anyone else is our Gary Sinderson. He continues our coverage from Penn State. He's live outside Beaver Stadium. Gary?
And Marty, even on a cold night, this is a hot story. Take a look at social media. It has literally been exploding since early this afternoon, especially here in State College and the Nittany Nation after the announcement came out that, yes, the consent decree agreement is in place. That consent decree signed back in the summer 2012 is virtually gone. And as you said, it restores more than 100 victories for the Penn State football team. But more importantly, that $60 million fine that Penn State was going to pay anyhow, that money will stay in place here in Pennsylvania. At the Penn State Board of Trustees meeting this afternoon, unanimous approval for an agreement settling the lawsuit filed by Senator Jay Corman and State Treasurer Rob McCord against the NCAA.
The effect of this agreement will include, but not be limited to, $48 million will be paid by Penn State to the Commonwealth under the Endowment Act. And 2, elimination of all punitive sanctions against Penn State. That includes removal of probation and the return of the wins for Penn State.
For those on the front lines of dealing with child abuse prevention, the Sandusky scandal sparked awareness, and more victims are coming forward. Now there's $60 million to help them and prevention programs.
All adults in our community are better equipped to protect children, and here in Center County we absolutely are. We have trained more than 5,000 adults. We are better equipped than pre-Sandusky to deal with this issue.
Up after suffering a series of setbacks in recent court suits. And again, the consent decree agreement signed this afternoon. Senator Jay Corman announcing it from Harrisburg. Then it was unanimously approved by the Penn State trustees. By the way, a new agreement is in place with the NCAA, but virtually here what the NCAA is saying, we give up, you win. The consent decree, the original one, is gone. Now to the most important issue, especially here at Beaver Stadium, we're hearing about, hey, when's the Joe Paterno statue going back up? We don't know. They did not discuss that issue at the Board of Trustees meeting this afternoon. That's another decision for Penn State down the road, but we can tell you when we find out the fate of the statue, you'll be the first to know. Live outside of Beaver Stadium at the Pennsylvania State University, Gary Sinderson, 6 News.
It is important to remember that 3 former Penn State administrators still face criminal charges tied to accusations they tried to cover up the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse scandal. Just this week, a Dauphin County judge rejected appeals from Graham Spanier, Tim Curley, and Gary Schultz to dismiss the charges, claiming former Penn State attorney Cynthia Baldwin violated their attorney-client privileges by initially representing them in court, then testifying against them before a grand jury. No trial dates have been set.
As Gary Sinderson mentioned, the news spread quickly across Happy Valley, where thousands of people are reacting to it, including Sue Paterno. Aaron Calandra has that part of the story.
Happy Valley is buzzing with the news of Joe Paterno's games being restored, and most people we spoke with say it's about time.
I never gave up hope that it would happen. He deserves it. He was a good man.
He left a pretty hefty legacy, and it's great to see that that's now a part of our community again.
Joe Paterno fans and most Penn State fans in general are celebrating tonight after the announcement that all 111 Penn State football victories led by Joe Paterno will be reinstated, putting his total wins back to 409, making him once again the most winningest college football coach in history.
I think it's fantastic. They never should have been taken away in the first place.
Sue Paterno says it's been a long 3 years.
Do you think you were going to see this ever happen?
A lot of things have happened that I never thought were going to happen, so let's let it go at that.
But many could consider today Joe Paterno's 410th victory, one that Sue says she's thankful for.
Jake Corman helped us in this, and Bob McCord. We can't thank them enough.
As of right now, there aren't any signs of any large gatherings or riots or anything like that, but police say they'll keep their eye on the situation throughout the night. At University Park, Erin Calandra, 6 News.
We'll continue to cover this story on air and online. You can stay with us on WJAC-TV.com and on Facebook, just like 6 News.
Some flurries and light snow showers working across parts of the area this evening, including Clearfield County on into Center County, even into parts of Cambria and Blair counties. Out to the west, though, we are seeing some clear skies, and that is expected to take hold just in time to kick off the weekend. Now, our temperatures as of 6 o'clock back a little more, 20 degrees in DuBois, 22 in Clearfield. Altoona has dropped to 28 degrees. Still looks like right around freezing in Bedford and in Huntington. But check out the wind chill still running in the single digits to around 10. So, yeah, with those breezes out there, it's going to be a cold night tonight. Improvements on the way for Saturday, though. Look at that. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the low 30s.
A grieving mother rejoicing tonight because Ridgeway Borough officials have changed their mind about forcing her to remove a memorial from a park where her son was found dead. Devin Clark talked to both the mom and the borough manager and has that story. Devin?
Marty, Tammy Woodward was heartbroken when she received a letter telling her that she had just weeks to remove a memorial from the park where her son was found dead. Well, today we caught up with borough officials who have now decided to let the shrine stay there.
Brian was God sent.
Last July, Tammy Woodward's son, Brian Holterback, was taken away from her, found dead by this park in Ridgeway. A diabetic, Woodward says her son died from a combination of bath salts and insulin shock. He had just come home from prison.
He was out 4 days and dead.
Now a cross with Brian's picture and flowers marked the spot where his body was found. But recently, borough officials sent Woodward a letter telling her the memorial had to be removed from borough property.
It hurts.
Other people who knew of Holterback's memorial were outraged as well.
I think it's disrespecting because a bunch of the kids' friends and family show up there to pay their respects and remember old times that they have with them, and I don't think it's right at all. I think they should just leave it the way it is.
Today we caught up with borough officials who declined to comment on the issue, but later they called saying they decided to allow the memorial to stay. We called Woodward to tell her the good news.
I spoke to the borough manager and he said that he's going to let the shrine stay there.
Get out!
Yep.
Oh my God, no way! Oh, that's awesome. 7 year, an amazing man.
It won't bring her son back, but Woodward says it makes dealing with his death a little easier.
Now, Woodward doesn't plan to keep the shrine there forever. She says just until she can get enough money to properly bury her son's ashes. She does have a GoFundMe account set up to help with that. If you'd like more information, you can visit our website. That's WJAC-TV.com. Reporting live, Devin Clark, 6 News.
Family and friends of a slain Blair County woman are gathering to remember her life right now. Stephanie Waters and her dog Duke died last week. 2 teenage boys are in jail charged with her death. Jacqueline Kovac joins us live in Hollidaysburg where that vigil has already started. Jackie?
Jen, family and friends of Stephanie Waters are still trickling into Reservoir Bible Church here in Hollidaysburg for a candlelight vigil that they set up to remember a family member and a friend that they dearly lost at an age much too young. Now, Waters was found dead in her car last Saturday after she was first reported missing to police, who say she was on her way to see a friend in Bedford County, but unfortunately never showed up. Investigators say 16-year-old Deontay Moy shot Waters twice after he and 15-year-old Ryan Hardwick robbed Waters of marijuana. Moy is charged with criminal homicide, while Hardwick is facing conspiracy to commit homicide. The Bedford County District Attorney says both will be tried as adults, but the death penalty is off the table due to their age. Both boys are being held in the Bedford County Jail at this time. Now, again, family and friends are still coming into the church that is set up for their candlelight vigil that they have this evening. Now, the family did ask for friends of Stephanie to bring handwritten notes that include a special memory of their daughter, as well as any photographs that they might have. Reporting live here in Hollidaysburg, Jacqueline Kovac, 6 News.
A community asking for answers.
After someone posts a video on our Facebook page of a school bus driver apparently driving well over the speed limit. What people in the community are saying.
And the Pirates officially sign an infielder. Hear reaction from Neil Huntington a little later in sports.
This is 6 News, coverage you can count on.
A video posted on our Facebook page has gone viral, apparently showing a bus driver exceeding the speed limit while driving students to school. The video, posted by a viewer Thursday morning, shows he was going 65 miles per hour and still couldn't catch the bus. That was taking students to Punxsutawney schools. District Superintendent Keith Wolf tells 6 News in a statement, "The safety and security of our students is paramount, and the district is doing all it can to address the situation. Now the community wants answers."
Video. I think that's ridiculous that they would drive like that. That's unsafe for your children. And then you don't even want to put them in the bus with the bad weather, let alone someone driving erratically. So I'd say fire.
Wolf says the district has reached out to the parents of all the kids on the bus. He says the bus driver works for a contracted company, and that bus company tells us that the driver has been suspended pending further investigation.
Police need help tonight. They're looking for one of 2 men that they say broke into several Cambria County homes, stealing cash, jewelry, and guns. A warrant's been issued for the arrest of Jason Collier. Police say he and Mark Sentz have been breaking into houses in Richland Township and Westmont since January 4th. Sentz, already in prison, he was arrested earlier this week on unrelated charges, but it was in the back of his car that police say they found the evidence needed to charge him with this crime.
At the time of the traffic stop, it was a bonus that we recovered a lot of items that had been stolen in the previous day's burglary. And in fact, in that vehicle, we did recover a ring that was stolen back on January 4th.
Again, police are looking for this man, Jason Collier. Crime Stoppers offering up to $1,000 for any information that leads to his arrest.